Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Director Young, for being here. I want to talk a little bit to get our arms around the statement that you talked about at the very beginning, right? And it's asking the wealthy and the corporations to begin paying their fair share. I realize that we have a progressive tax system in the United States, but I just want to start with some facts from the IRS, not right-wing sources, but the IRS. So in 2020, the IRS reported that the top 1% paid 42% of all the federal income taxes. The top 10% paid almost 74%. So 10% paying 74% of all the total income taxes, right? Again, this is information from the IRS. I'm trying to wrap my arms around what is the number that the wealthy and the corporations would have to pay for you in this administration to feel like they paid their fair share? Is it, and I'm asking for a numeric number, is it 78, 92, 104?
Just like I answered your former colleague, the gross number is not, in my view, the appropriate way to look at these metrics. We look at these metrics as a percentage of GDP, for example. And as I pointed out, when we had surpluses in the mid-90s, we were at about 19.6% of revenue.
With all due respect, you're a very intelligent woman. You've done really good work. It's a great answer to a question that I didn't ask. It's not a tough question. It's not a simple question. It's not a difficult question. It's a direct question. In order to pick, right now, we have the top 10% of the wealthy and corporations. And let's not forget, it's the economic system that give us our social programs, right? We don't want the producers to stop producing because then who's going to pay? I don't have a money tree in my backyard that I can just go out and take money. I realize I come from the business sector, and business could never operate the way government does because we'd be out of business. So with that said, I'm just looking for a really simple number. Do you want the wealthy and the corporations to pay 82%? It's not a got ya. It's in what's the right number?
Well, you asked me my opinion, and I told you that is not how we analyze what policies go here. Let me point out one thing. The idea, one, that those making less than $400,000 pay less into the system.
Let's stick with the topic, though. And
sure.
Please, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm trying to get to a number because it seems like you're evading the number. 10% of the people pay 74% of the taxes. Is it 78? Would that make you feel comfortable?
What are those 10% worth compared to the 90% of other Americans?
Well, 90% of the other Americans pay 24% of the taxes. So should only the top 10% pay the taxes, and we raise that number so only the top 10 pay the taxes? I mean, we have a progressive tax system. It's a numerical number. Why are you avoiding it?
To me, the question is, and this is how we analyze what policies to put, what are the top 10% worth in this country? And what percentage of their income are they paying into taxes? What we have found...
And last I checked, we do have a progressive tax rate, correct?
And what we have found...
Is that correct?
...is that billionaires, some of the wealthiest families, 400 of the wealthiest families, pay about an 8% effective tax rate.
And you know what?
That's less than most middle-class
We're talking
families.
About 400 families. I'm with you on that.
Of the top bracket.
Right. 1.5 million tax returns are put into the IRS system for the top 1%. We're talking about 400. I'm talking about the other 99%, which you don't want to talk about. So it's a real simple question, and I don't understand why we're dodging it. But I agree with you with the 4. Is it 82%? I mean, why is it so difficult to give an answer?
I just think
it is because you haven't been able to give us an answer.
Well, it's the president's budget, and I'm trying to tell you how we approach these things. I am
so
worried
it's the
about,
bottom line that counts, provided you know how to count.
I am worried about the
just
90% versus the 10% who have more income than the rest of the 90%, and they pay an effective less tax rate
And I
than
would
most
say
teachers and
this
nurses in this
is, you're
country.
talking about 400 people out of 100, or
What are they
1.5 million.
But what are they worth
And
compared
what
to
are
the
they
rest of the country?
paying? Those top 10% are paying 74% of what we
8%
bring,
of what-
of what we bring
8%
in. We
of their
should be
income.
celebrating those people.
8% of their income, which we think is
And again,
unfair.
this is the problem with the American people. We refuse to answer the question. We only want to frame the issue on how we want to frame it. So again, my disappointment is that, again, we have a very intelligent person and we can't get an answer. We can't get a numerical
The gentlelady's
answer.
time has
Thank you.
expired.
Thank you, and I
I
yield
thank
back.
the gentlelady from Michigan.